Change dummy to change dummy to player.
Okay, so what are we learning now?
Alright, so the first thing I feel that you should learn. After you pick your character, you should learn what your character does. Not exactly how you should be playing the character, but so much as when you press a button, I want you to know what that button does, what it looks like, where it's going to hit. So say, if I'm right here, how can you hit me? See, that hits me. What doesn't hit me?
Punch.
Yeah, see?
Well, what's triangle? Heavy or?
That's medium.
And then square is light.
Yep, and R1 is heavy. So is R2. Alright? So you have, what moves can hit me from here? That, and should be do a sweep, which is crouching heavy kick. Oh no. Oh no. Anyway. So stuff like that. Stuff like how I know that when you hit that, when you threw your foot out the ground, I knew this would hit it. This would beat it out. Stuff like that. That's what I want you to figure out. And honestly, even though it's one of the most important things to learn, no matter how good you are, you could master it, but it takes the longest to learn. It takes the longest to get used to, which is why it's still the most important aspect of the game. It's learning that when you press a button, you know what that button's going to do for you, and when it hits, you know what that button does when it hits. You know what happens when that button when it's blocked. That's very important. I'm not even talking about your special moves like this. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about good old-fashioned fisticuff shit. Okay?
So when you're moving back, you're blocking and moving back?
Yeah, when you walk backwards, you block. But while you're walking backwards. When you're walking backwards, you don't guard your feet. That's why when you see people try and block, they sit there like this. That way, you block standing, you block crouching. Only thing you don't block
Are the
top of your head.
overheads?
Yeah, you don't block your dome. So
What
that's
standing does or standing doesn't?
That's what walking backwards does. When you crouch, you block your feet and your body, but you're stationary. So when you're stationary, that lets people, start doing other things that they otherwise couldn't do while you're moving. So when you're crouching, you can't block jumping attacks, and you can't block overheads. But that also leaves you open to get grabbed. We'll talk about all that stuff at a later date. Right now, we're talking about your normals. So your standing light punch, you know what this looks like? It's square. Go ahead and press that. Your standing light kick, go ahead and press that. You know what that looks like.
That's square or
That's
X.
Triangle is your medium punch. Circle is your medium kick.
And then we've been through the heavies.
Yep, R1, R2. Now you have standing and crouching versions and jumping. All that comes into play. I want you to know what all of those do. That's basically lesson 1. That's what I want you to figure out and learn. You're constantly been figuring this out. You need to know that when you jump, this game actually tells you, like, when you jump in at somebody, that hits you in front, but if you actually hit somebody from the back of the head, and it says cross up, that means it hits you from a different direction, okay?
Than it was supposed to, or?
Right, so even if you're walking backwards, walk backwards, this cross up is going to hit you, because you're not blocking in the opposite direction, because I changed sides, so you should be walking the other direction at that point in time. Get it? That make sense to you?
Yes. These ones... Wow, her punches have really limited range.
Now, you have to work, like, that comes to figuring out what kind of character, how Cammy works. That comes into what you should be doing when you're playing Cammy. For example, I'm not entirely sure what Cammy function is in this game. I'm not entirely sure. I know she's, up close and personal, try to mix your opponent up or whatever. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not going to claim I know. But I know that Laura functions when she gets at this range. This is where she functions. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Found it. We found it.
With that nasty ass foot. So, with Laura, when I'm playing Laura, my job is to get in here. And I really, really want you to press buttons when I'm sitting here doing my job. Because when I hit you with this button right here, on hit or on block, I'm at the advantage. So if you block this button right here and you choose to hit another button, I'm going to win if I stick out something. So I'll go do that, you hit a button, see? Counter hit. I'm going to win the exchange.
Oh, okay.
That's what that means. Same thing with this button. If I hit this button and you block, and you want to hit the button after you block this, I'm going to win that exchange. That's how it works. I think that's how it works. There we go. See, counter hit. Pop. I'm going to win every exchange.
Is that because she's faster, or
that's just the property? That's the property of the move. It's basically just math. They call it, frame data, whatever. But it's basically just math. So
I glitched her hair.
Whatever. Look at that. We'll fix that in the updates, right? Hopefully. So basically, when you get hit with this move, or when you block it, I can move before you can. That means it's plus on block. And to show you, into a good representation of that, come forward a little bit so we can get in the middle. Now, I want you to just crouch, block like this. And the second you block a move, I want you to hold up, okay? So I'm going to hit you.
Okay.
Hold up. Now, you see that? Do it again. I'm going to hit you. You're going to jump once. Oops. Hit, jump. You see, I jumped first. I'm higher in the air than you. Which means I can act before you can. Okay? That's how you check and see if a move is plus. Same thing when you're going to block it now, and you're going to jump. Block, jump. Still, I'm higher in the air. I jumped first. I can move first. I'm at the advantage.
Is that all of her moves, or just that one?
No, it's different for every button you pressed. It's always different. All right?
Okay.
That's why it's one of the more difficult things to learn, because every button, like this button, I'm plus on this, I'm plus on this, plus on this, plus on that. This, I believe, I know I'm not plus. I might be minus, so go ahead and block this and jump. Block.
Oh, block and jump.
Yeah, just hold back, block. That's you do good job blocking with your face. Block it. Okay, do it one more time, straight up. Block, up. So you see where your foot is?
Yeah.
You're a little higher than I am. So that means you're at advantage.
I'm okay.
You're at advantage. Okay? That's what that means. So why would I hit this button if it gives you the advantage, right? Is that a question that you would like to be asked? Why use a button that doesn't put you at advantage?
Right.
Because of the range it gives you. And this button right here, go ahead and jump. Oop, jump straight up. That will hit you in the air. You see where that looks weird, doesn't it?
But I have to be at a certain angle or a certain height. Like, you can't hit me at the height of my jump.
Yeah, but you also can't block. And if you hit a button on the way down, it's gonna win. You see that? You're nowhere near that, but it's hitting you. These are called anti-airs. If someone jumps at you, you have buttons and moves that you can press to hit people out the sky.
So what's her anti-air?
Hers might be crouching heavy punch? No? Standing triangle. Back. Is it close standing or back? She has a weird... Let me see. She has a move. There it is. It is back heavy punch. You see how she puts her fist right in the air like that?
Punch.
That's the normal. She also has this. That's a special move. It's cannon spike. You use that to anti-air. That has special properties that you'll use for anti-airing, and it's also her panic button. When I say panic button, if someone's doing things to you that you don't like, you're gonna match that out because you don't feel like blocking. You feel like being that guy. You feel like being that guy, and it has invincibility. So I can't.
Oh, this has invincibility?
No,
the cannon spike.
Cannon spike. I believe the medium one might have it. Don't quote me. I'm not entirely sure. I can look that up later. But I'm gonna jump in. I want you to anti-air me with your back medium punch. Okay?
Okay.
You see, it's all about you gotta condition yourself for that timing. See how high up it hits? I shouldn't be able to get in when you do that right. Now another important thing is, you learn that later. You'll get used to that later on. You need to react. You don't anticipate, you react. Because when someone figures out that you're anticipating them to do something, that's when, say, like, you think I'm going to jump right here. So I can figure that out by you just doing that. You think I'm going to jump. So instead, I'm just going to come in like that.
And throw.
And do whatever, because you're busy looking up here. Your eyes and concentration is up here. It's not right in front of you where it should be. So it's always important to react and not anticipate. That's very important. I know it's hard to do. It's hard not to do it, but something that you need to do. But back to normals. That's what we're talking about. You need to know the ground normals and your aerial normals. And some people have special normals, like you saw. You have back medium punch, which is different from standing medium punch. You also have, I believe it's forward and heavy kick. Yeah, double knees, forward and heavy kick. That's also important. You need to figure that out. So that's basically what I want you to learn with her. And every time you press a button, you need to know what it's going to do. And you see right here how you're crouching, that crouching medium kick whiffed? Go ahead and do that crouching medium kick.
Oh, wait,
Circle. Crouching circle. That's standing circle. You're standing. I want you to crouch. Now see, do that again. Do it again. You see that? You need to know that right here, it will not hit. That's what you need to know. Alright? That's very important.
Oh, well, the heavy... No, heavy doesn't hit. Heavy's shorter than that one, I think.
That's also very important. See, you just made an observation right there. You know that your crouching heavy kick has less range than your crouching medium kick. So your medium kick should hit me. Which is stupid that it doesn't.
We'll just face through half the leg.
I'm learning something too. I'm learning something. I didn't know that her little stubby ankles, she has ghost slams. I did not know that. That is nice. That's awesome. So you also see that for some reason it didn't hit standing. Do it again. This is weird. Oh. But I crouched and I blocked it. There's something else you need to know. This is all important information. So that means if someone's crouching, you have more range to work with. Well, with this character.
Yeah.
So, while you're learning your normals, you also need to learn your character's special moves. Unfortunately for us, this game does not tell you the properties of your special move.
What do you mean properties?
Each move has properties. So, this right here. The game won't tell you that, depending on what button I press, it'll change how fast it goes. The game's not telling me that. The game's not telling me that this one is different from this one. It won't tell me that, because if I press the this medium punch, if I press the medium punch version, I can follow up. I can follow up with that. Stuff like that.
That's that special grab that she has.
Yeah, well, even though it should tell me. Yes, it tells you right there. What it doesn't tell you is that this is the EX. This is when you spend meter. We talked about meter.
Right. Yeah.
It will not tell me that.
Can you not cycle into that move after the EX version?
No, it doesn't tell me the property. The property of this move is I gain a hit of armor. I gain 1 hit of armor. So I can use this as a tool to help me get you off of me. So I want you to do forward heavy. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do that. Just keep on pressing. See that?
Okay.
I have 1 hit of armor. The game won't tell you that you have a hit of armor. It won't tell you.
So it's basically just finding it out.
There's different venues. There's different avenues you have to take to figure out what your move's properties are. But that's something else you need to figure out.
I also noticed that the heavies work on either trigger, so heavy and heavy.
Yeah, they're different buttons. The left side is actually pressing all 3 of the buttons at the same time. You see your input commands? That's all 3 of them at the same time.
Okay, the top, it's going top down.
Mm-hmm. That's what people who are...
So what do all 3 give you the advantage to do?
That doesn't give you any advantage. It's just, if you have problems hitting 2 buttons with your thumb, you could just hit that button on your left-hand side instead. That's all. So if you wanted to do... Cammy has a move called the... Cannon Drill, Cannon...
Should I go to it?
Yeah, go ahead and go to your command list.
Where's the command list?
Hit L1.
L1.
L1. And you see that? It says command list right there, down.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, there we go.
These are your moves. Spiral arrow. There we go. Spiral arrow.
So go down through up and... What's that? Medium?
That's the fireball motion.
Or just any kick.
Any kick.
Any kick?
Any kick. That's fireball motion. Get used to using...
Oh, wait.
Get used to using this.
This?
Get used to using that.
Okay, that's better for that one?
That's better for this game.
Ooh. Okay, it is any kick.
Alright, see, it's any kick. Now, depending on what kick you use, will change how the move functions.
So
it'll change distance, speed, power.
So that goes all the way there.
Mm-hmm. And then when you press 2 buttons at the same time, you enhance it.
What do you mean 2 buttons?
Press 2 kicks at the same time. See?
Or use the left trigger.
Or use that like we discussed. You enhance it.
So that was the EX version?
Right. And that takes 1 bar.
Meter. Okay.
It takes 1 stick of butter. Okay?
I like butter.
And get used to using it sparingly sometimes.
But that's only if you use the double one, so if you use the
Right.
regular one. it won't take the meter.
Another thing that's very important that will help you. You don't bother with it now because I know there's a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. But go ahead and do that. Spiral arrow. Now see, you can't block that. Go ahead and try and block that. Do spiral arrow and then try and block. You can't block that. What that is called is a punish. Okay?
Did I kick you first and then go into it?
Yeah. You can cancel your normals into moves. Not all of them though. Not all of them. See, this one can't cancel.
Okay.
That can't cancel.
And that's medium for you, or?
Yeah, for me, it's different. It's different per character. It's different per character. And the way this game is, like, not a lot of characters, not everybody, but a lot of characters. Your crouching light kick right here.
Yeah.
You can do that move. It'll chain into itself for more hits. See that? It chains into itself, but you can't chain it to anything else to get a combo. We'll talk about that stuff later. But this is just about learning what.
Ooh.
Yep, that's your V skill. It's about.
So
what,
wait, is that okay? Just so it's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's kick, circle, and triangle. I don't have to. That was gonna be another thing, because let's see. If this allows her to dodge projectiles, I think.
Yep, that lets you go through projectiles. And also, go ahead and do it from this close. She switches sides.
Which makes blocking more difficult.
Right. See, so this, and also do that and jump. Do it again. You're about even, or even plus after that.
I think I'm plus.
You're actually at advantage after that. Okay, you're at advantage. So
I can always try to follow up with something.
Now, keep in mind, even though you're advantage, the advantage is limited. You know, it's maybe 1 or 2 points here, 2 to 3 points there. So after that advantage runs out and you don't capitalize on it, if they hit a button after that situation, they'll win.
Right.
Okay. Now that's all part of the mind game. That's all part of the advanced stuff. Because, like, you know, this right here, it'll say, like, you don't want to get grabbed, and I'm making you do things so that you don't want to get grabbed. You have two options. You can either tech the grab or get out, or just get out the way. So people who want to sit there and tech the grab, it's called a counter hit setup.
So how do we tech?
Grab.
How do you? What's the grab button?
Grab is both lights. Both
lights.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to jab and then grab. Okay.
Oh.
So I want you. That's exactly what I want to do. I want you to do that. I'm going to jab then grab. You tech the grab, jab then grab, tech the grab, jab then grab. Now I notice that you're doing that. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to grab. I'm going to hit a button. Okay. Now when that happens, if I do it right, I do jab, hit a button. It says counter hit.
Okay.
That's what that's for. That's part of the mind games. That's part of fighting games. I made you hit a button. I made you think I'm going to grab, and I said that's not what I'm going to do. Okay?
And your move takes priority over the grab.
Because my move is faster. Even if you block it, even like you're gonna block it and then try and grab. Okay? Block, try and grab. Because strikes beat grabs. That's how this game works. Grabs are to beat. Grabs beat blocking. Strikes beat grabs.
Okay.
Okay? So just, what I want you to know is just learn your moves and their properties. That's all. Learn your buttons, well not your moves, because moves will come later. You learn your buttons and properties. Buttons are first. Buttons are more important. Buttons are how you get hits. Okay?
And then the combos come later.
Right. And another thing I want you to do, it's hard at the beginning. It's very hard. The two most important things that I want you to focus on right now, buttons, and when you're moving in this game, I don't want you to do this. This is not how you move. You don't do this. It's so easy to do this, but that's not how you do it. I want you to walk. Okay? I want you to walk. Back and forth.
She's actually got a pretty fast walk.
She's very fast. I want you to walk. And you only jump when you think. You only like there are good times to jump and there are bad times to jump.
Yeah, when they're low.
So a good time to jump would be like, for instance, this character I'm using. Go it from this range. If you jump, I can't do anything. Go ahead, jump. See? Go ahead, jump. Jump over.
Oop.
See that?
I didn't have to jump over you.
I don't hit in that area. I'm forced to use this. And if I don't have the reaction to do that, I'm at a disadvantage. So basically, I'm forced to move out the way. But right here is a good spot to jump when you're fighting this character. Everyone has an answer, but that's all reaction. You know, it's your chances are better there. There are good times to jump, and there are bad times to jump. A bad time to jump on her will be from here. That's a bad time to jump because that will hit you every time. Every time, okay?
Her jumping light is pretty interesting.
Yeah, her jumping light is how you achieve a cross up. So I want you to jump it. You have to wait. You have to wait. You have to wait and hit it a little later.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hit it later. See? That hit in front. Now do it again.
Ooh.
You gotta find where that spot is. Find the spot.
That's not it.
It's still in front. Hit me from the back of the head. There you are. See, it says cross up. Stuff like that. Okay?
All right.
That is the first lesson. That's what you need to learn. You need to learn that what button that you need to press, what the button does,
And where it hits.
and what the button where it hits and what it does for you. There is actually proper times to use buttons, and there are wrong times to use buttons. I know it's a lot, because like right here, I see you're fishing with that. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do this. That should hit. See, that should hit you. So if you sit there, keep on doing that. I see you doing that. I can do that. So I'll beat you out and throw that out just in case. But if you block this, we'll talk about crush counters later. Talk about that later.
What did I accidentally do something?
No, we'll talk about crush counters later. Crush counters are like remember we talked about cannon spike?
Yeah.
You know how to do cannon spike?
Was that
It's
that wasn't Cannon Spike.
Cannon spike it's the killer. For people who are just learning fighting games, it's always the killer. That's right there.
So,
That Z motion, that's the killer for people who
So
always
that's-
start these.
down,
It's forward, down, diagonal.
forward, down, diagonal.
Right.
Okay. Oh wait, then I forgot to check what punch to hit.
It's kick. Any kick.
Any kick.
Any kick. This is always assuming that your character is facing a certain direction.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you do it forward. All right, go ahead. Now go ahead and do that. Do cannon spike. That's a crush counter.
Okay.
Certain people have moves that will always lead them in a crush counter state. Okay? So we'll talk about crush counters later. That's how you get big damage. But we'll talk about that later. So that's going to be your very first lesson. Now, like I said, we talked about universal mechanics. You need to remember those. Get those in your head and remember those. Universal mechanics, what are those? Grab.
He grabs.
Everyone grabs the exact same way. Everyone grabs the exact same way. Everyone does V-skill the same way. How do you do
So
your
it's the
V-skill?
same. It's the same two buttons.
Yeah, same two buttons for everybody in the game. But its use and what else you can do with it is different because I can do these dashes right here and this. That's mine.
And you only build your V trigger when you hit, though.
You only build V triggers are built when you have a move that actually hits somebody and when you take damage. Okay. You also have EX moves by pressing two buttons. Everybody does that. You put the command in for your special attack, but you press two buttons. That gives you your EX that enhances the move.
Oh wait. Is it backwards or
It's forwards. Which one are you trying to do?
the first one? What we were doing?
Spiral arrow?
No, it's up. Okay.
Yeah, it's forward. Here's an easy way. I just want you to do it like this. Just roll it. That's it.
Oops.
Forward.
Forward.
Now, see, also take note of your buttons. If you're sitting there, you're thinking, "Oh, I know I'm doing this right. I know I'm doing this right." You're not. You see your buttons? You're hitting your kick and your diagonal at the same time. You're not finishing the move. You have to hit forward and then kick. You have to finish
Okay.
the entire rotation. All right.
Okay, so the EX move then.
We also talked about this is your V reversal. Okay, when you're blocking.
When I'm blocking.
Yeah, I want you to block. And when you block, I want you to press with her. I believe it's forward and forward with this button here. Okay.
Okay.
Press it when you're blocking. You see?
Oh.
That will take one away from your V trigger. That'll take one away from it, but it'll get some. But it takes the pressure off of you. That's a universal mechanic. And then you have your V trigger. You press both heavies. Both heavies.
Both heavies.
Yes. Everyone's different. You have to figure out what it does for your character. Street Fighter didn't tell you what it does. But you got to figure it out. Okay? Because I'm going to load my command list. And changes during V trigger. What? I don't know. I don't know.
So
Doesn't tell you.
makes it more powerful.
It doesn't tell you. I know what it does because I'm one of those people. I know what it does.
Because you researched it, or
Yeah.
because you've done it?
I have to look it up. So with you, it changes your special moves. So go ahead and see if it changed that. But
Okay.
also it took a gigantic chunk from your V trigger. Okay, so you get back maybe 1 or 2 different enhanced moves. It changes your special attacks. That's what it does for her. Okay?
Okay.
Those are universal mechanics, and then your normals. Those are your first 2 lessons. Knowing those, remembering those. That's gonna that's cementing you and the character with the game, so you know what you're doing.
Okay, so it's pretty much the same no matter if I do the EX version or the normal version.
Yeah. See, when you do her V trigger, it lets you do this.
Oh wow.
So it lets you do that. Change. That goes through people. Okay.
Did it go through before?
No. It won't. So you go ahead and do. Don't worry about that right now.
Okay.
We're done. The first lesson.
The first lesson.
The first lesson. Normals and the system mechanics. Normals, system mechanics, and do not jump for no reason. When you jump, your job is to hit somebody with the overhead attack from the sky. It's your job. Okay? What button is the best button to press depends on what you're going to do. And that's going to come later on. But it's going to...
Sorry. I hit something by accident. I'm so sorry.
So the next thing we're going to talk about afterwards, after you get your normals done, we're going to talk about special moves, and we're going to talk more about being at advantage and disadvantage.
Okay.
All right. That's this lesson.
Lesson 1 completed. Now for the training.
For you to realize, like, okay, we're going to start with your lights, okay?
So that's light. That's light.
There's your jab right here. There's your kick. Kick. Jab. So go ahead and give me a question like, yeah, punch, punch, punch. There's the range. This is your punch. Now in this games, lights are used because of their speed. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
So at this range right here, you're going to want to press lights at this range because they're your faster button.
Something.
Another way to use lights after a knockdown. In this game, see this knockdown?
Yeah.
It's always important to get back up. Because at this game, who is Spike Spencer?
He's one of the, I guess, Ramadan.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it's just a mechanic is when you get knocked down, there's 2 things you can do. You can get back up, so you get knocked down, smash some directions. Alright? You get knocked down, mash some directions. So you got up. You
Okay.
got as fast as you could. Or you can just sit there, just like that.
Okay, so you don't press anything. You don't hold down like in.
Right. You can do like everyone should sweep.
How do you?
Crushing heavy kick is sweep, universally. Everybody sweep at the same. Crushing heavy kick.
That's okay.
There you go.
Oh, it's sweet. Okay, I thought you meant from. I thought you meant from when you knocked me down.
Do it again. I get right back up in the same position. Do it again. I roll backwards. Those are your 3 options of getting up. Okay.
Forward, backwards, and up.
Yep. Standing. Slow stand. You're slow. There's fast. And then there's a back roll fast. Now all of that goes out the window. Go ahead and sweep. Yeah, sweep. When you get counter hit on sweep, you are stuck on the ground for a fixed amount of time.
Okay.
You can't do anything about that. That's universal. Okay? And when would you sweep? Usually, the best time to sweep is at maximum range. So go ahead about right here. Okay, that's the best time for you to sweep is at maximum. Go ahead and do it again. See? Now the only thing about that is it's blocked.
You get an, so
Okay,
your
go
opponent
ahead.
gets an opening.
Yeah, if you block, I can do, depending on the range, I can do this. Block it. I hit you back with my own sweep, or if I'm close enough, that will hit.
Okay.
Which means I can do this. And my character starts her game. So remember this button right here, you always press this button at ranges. You don't do it up close. doing it up close is genuinely a bad idea. Sure, you can catch people. Sure, you can get a hit off.
But it's slower. Being a
But-
heavy.
Right. So if you're hitting this button and you hit, don't you think it'd be smarter to hit this button and then cancel into a special move to get more damage?
Yeah,
See?
that would make more sense.
So your lights, going back to the lights are from knockdowns. It's like this. You knock somebody down, they get back up. You grab them, or you do what it's called. Talk about meaties later.
Is that what you hit your mediums, or?
No, meaty. We'll talk about that later. But just know, like, you see how she's sitting here and like she's doing the move, and she has an animation. The move has animation. It's out there for X amount of time. You will time it so that the move is still there when they're standing up, so they stand up into it.
Okay.
So that changes if the move, how advantageous the move is on block and hit. It changes that depending on your timing. So usually like this, you see this, standing medium into crouching heavy. That doesn't count. But if I hit you with the medium, it can combo.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna try and demonstrate. Okay, 2 hits. See? Combos. Good.
Okay.
We're good. Well, they'll talk about that, but when people stand up, they want to, impatient person, they won't block. I want you to block.
Okay.
Get comfortable with the idea of blocking. Get comfortable with the idea of knowing when you can move. So when someone knocks you down, some players will do this. They'll get up and they'll hit you with a light. They'll try and make you stay there. So your only option is to block or detect the grab or whatever. And that's mind games. Talk about mind games later. But that's what your lights are for. Lights are for up close and punishment. That's basically what your lights are for. Your mediums are more for offensive tools, and depending on how far they reach, are pokes. So your standing medium kick, with your circle.
Oop, circle.
You see how much range that has?
Yeah.
See that?
And this is for a poke?
Yeah.
Because do they do damage on block as well then, or?
In this game, it doesn't. It gives you white health. So go ahead and make me block. Look at my health bar.
Okay.
Now that it's damage, but it's not true damage because it comes back over time.
Unless you get hit.
If I get hit, I lose the damage. I lose the amount of damage that the move actually does, plus that white health.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So that's this game's way of telling you that if someone's very aggressive and they make you block a lot, your job is not to sit there and block all the time because basically when you get grabbed, you'll lose a substantial amount of health.
Right.
Okay, so we'll try and make you block a little bit. Go ahead and block, 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 block. Block a little bit. You see all that gray health building up?
Yeah.
You lost all of that from getting hit once. All of that.
And the stun gauge will move up as well.
And stun gauge doesn't go up until you get hit.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah, stun won't go anywhere until you get hit.
I thought it was to help people who block all the time as well.
It does, but your stun gauge also won't go down. So same like I'm gonna grab your stun. You see that your stun gauge? See it?
Yeah.
It's going up. I want you to block. It's not going to go down while you're blocking.
Oh, okay.
It's not. But if nothing happens to it for a little bit, it goes in. Okay.
Okay, so if you're constantly under hit, but once you get the reprieve, then it starts to go down.
So the problem is, not every character operates the same ranges. That's about normal, folks. We'll talk about that with first mediums. Mediums they're usually for your offensive pressure. So you're going there when people block a medium attack.
Okay.
Most of the time, you're plus more than normal. You have your standing light punches when you're plus, your standing light kicks. These are plus, these are plus, these are usually plus. Usually. You use that to establish pressure. And if you make your opponent block. There's things you could figure, that's how you figure out who you're fighting. That's how you figure that out. You use those for pressure. And you usually, with her, what she can do is standing medium punch and to standing heavy punch. That combos. Go ahead and do that for me.
Standing heavy punch?
Standing medium punch, square, triangle, and to R1. Triangle and R1.
At the same
See
time,
that?
or?
Look, you did it. 1, 2. Nope. Nope. 1. Capcom can't do that. See,
There,
look,
okay,
there,
2
that's
hits.
called a link.
Is it hard to get those, or?
In this game, it's as easy as it's ever been.
But if you do it too soon, it won't.
It's a timing, or it's timing. So if you do it too soon, it won't work. If you do it too late, it won't work. But the window for it is very generous. Okay. So with Cammy, what do you notice with Cammy? With her, when you press her button, what do you notice?
Well, her light and medium punch are short.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like light kick's kind of short.
You can notice that she outside of that medium kick, she doesn't have much range on her move, does she?
No.
Which is compensated by her walk speed. That's why she walks forward so fast.
Okay.
And walks backwards. So she's very learning these moves, learning your normals will really help your game. Learning that your buttons playing to that, and your walk speed also playing to that. Also note proximity block.
Proximity block?
Yeah, the auto move. See, she's flinching. It's proximity block. The game is making me stop moving because you're going to move.
Oh, okay.
Proximity block. Go ahead, walk backwards.
So, hold on. I was gonna say it's a little hard. It's a little harder since I walk backwards
Walk way
faster.
faster. And now you go on to your heavy moves. Cause that I want to jump in. You want to press heavy kick. I want to
Okay.
jump in. I want you to press heavy kick. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Go
two.
ahead, try to time it. There's an anti-air. You gotta time it though. That's something else you need to work on. That is good. That is really good. Do it from here. Do it from here. Okay. Going up.
Okay.
That is a really good button for her. Okay. That right there. That have you use. I believe it has her airborne. So.
But it won't hit while you're crouch blocking.
Yeah. That's not a move you should be using then in that situation. You have other buttons that you should be using in that situation.
But the forward one will.
So there is an app. There's an app for that. Called V-Skill.
There's always an app for that.
V-Skill gives you information on the character. If my phone... The app will give you information on your character. Now, it's not perfect right now, but it's getting better.
V-skill, all one word, or?
And just V-Skill. Or is it V-Skill or V-Frame? V-Frames.
Oh.
Pardon. Excuse me.
There we go. That one popped up. It's rated E for everyone?
Is it?
Is it by Andy Guerin?
See, there it is, right there. Giant V.
Yeah, Andy Guerin. Rated E for everyone.
This will help you if you don't want to spend $34.99 in the Prima Guide. This will help you figure things out for your character. It'll give you information. It'll tell you that, see, invincible to projectiles, invincible, period. It'll tell you things like that. It'll tell you how fast you go. So you say your fastest button, the fastest button you have is your crouching light punch. It starts in 3 frames. Okay? That is the fastest a move will come out. Outside of... Is that it? I believe so. Let me check. Excuse me. It comes out in 3 frames. That is the fastest a move can come out in this game, period, outside of Zangief's special, which comes out in 1.
Okay.
Okay, that's the fastest a move can be.
So what's faster, having 3 or 1?
Now, if a move comes out in 1 frame, this game runs in 60 frames per second. So, Zangief's special comes out in 1/60th of a second.
Okay.
That's how fast it activates. This comes out in 3/60th of a second. Okay? That's how fast it is. 3 out of 60. Look at that. It's just math.
Okay.
So this has 3 frames. This is a 3-frame move. And everything else, you know, you worry about that. Get on the app, it'll tell you. So here's how you can practice. Here's how you can practice. One thing I want you to be able to practice is anti-air. You're going to use the playback feature. Now we're going to record Laura to do this. She's going to be from here. You're going to jump. Boom. Okay? Back. Do it again. I'm going to play it back. I want you to anti-air.
Just with that one or the up triangle one as well?
Both.
Okay.
Alright, that's how you do it. Walk forward a little bit.
And then, oh wait, no.
Yep, just wait for her.
I accidentally hit up and triangle instead.
That's how you would
Okay, so that'll hit.
That's how you would practice anti-airs. Okay?
You'd get another character to do something like that.
This is how you practice anti-airs, knowing that when they jump, this is what they can do. Now here's something else.
Oh wait, I was hitting forward and back. Forward instead of back.
Else. This is what we're going to do. We're going to select the character. There is a gentleman on YouTube who has a technique. I can't remember his name, otherwise I would cite him. This actually helps a lot. So we're gonna have you. He actually used Cammy himself. Cha. We're gonna pick Captain Asia.
Captain Asia.
Captain Asia. Secret Asian man.
Clarence, do you not like Ryu?
Huh? I don't have a hatred for Ryu.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
That's what he is. He had in a different game. It's just the way when he won, he sat there. It's just the face he had. People call him Captain Asia. I'm gonna have to do this. So here, throw a fireball. Wait. Okay. Slot 2. Jump in. Wait. Slot 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sit there.
And then mix and repeat.
So.
It said 3's empty.
Yeah. So let's sit there. Now we're going to, replay interval, boop, boop, and we're going to turn this all on, and he should do something different every time. Fireball. Jump in.
Wait.
Wait. Fireball. Now let's see, how do you make it random? How do you make it random? I think this is how you make it random. Jump in. Yep, okay. That's what we're going to do. So, your job is to react accordingly.
So what's the fireball for? Just blocking?
If he throws a fireball, I want you to either jump over it or learn how to do this through it.
Okay.
If he throws a fireball, I just want you to either do that or jump over it.
And then that air is anti-air.
That's jump in. So sit there and do nothing. And then there's a fireball. Okay? So right here. This is gonna be tough. But that's what you gotta do.
Okay. Was it backwards? No.
Forward. Oh, anti-air.
I was trying to get the move again. Oh, that was that. Oops. Oh, I thought I had block.
Walk
Thought I-
forward. If he jumps at you, he's on there.
Oh, I must have hit a button. Is it?
You want to stay right here, right there.
Right about here?
Stay. A little bit back, a little bit back. Right there. That's where you want to stay.
Oh, I hit down and.
And remember this one. Back, back, back. Like this. Rough, isn't it? Now, see, that this is showing you that if the heavy kick is not going to always be your best option for an anti-hero. Your best option is your back medium punch. Comes out the fastest, hits, and it hits in the best spot. See?
Right above, pretty much.
So they come at you from about a little bit farther back. That's when the heavy kick, like right here, they come at you from right that angle. The heavy kick is your better option.
Okay.
And then when you learn your react, when you have your reaction times up, you can actually do. See, you can actually do this when you have your reaction times up, the button presses and everything. I'm just gonna wait for it to. There, you can do that.
What was that one?
Use your cannon strike.
Okay, they can't. Okay.
Use your cannon strike. Okay. That's when you can use that when you get your reaction times up.
Someday. Oh.
Maybe you could convince Brother Red to leave his copy here. You know, he's such a very busy man.
And he hasn't even opened his PS4 from what he's told us.
Yeah, so convince Brother Red to bring him and leave his copy here so the two contendees can practice and you guys can fight for our amusement. You got your money on.
I'd say guy.
He's waiting me out.
The stare down.
You don't really have that much time when he throws that fireball out from this distance.
From right here?
Maybe you do, but...
You have enough time to react. You really do. Do it, I'll show you. You have enough time to react. You're too late.
Oh, too late.
You're too early. Sit here like that.
Well, if you sit there...
So you're just like this. Stare down. We're out of there.
What was that one?
That's here. That's what that is.
Oh, okay. I thought you just slid across the ground. I'm like...
Good reaction would be from right here. That's usually when you're twitchy and you're kind of waiting for him to just press a button. You're waiting for him. You're waiting for him. Like, okay, what's he gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna jump in or what? He's gonna sit there and wait. Sit there and wait. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? I did it. I lost the meter.
Okay.
I lost the meter.
Sometimes it won't go through.
Yeah. So you just know it's not instant. You don't have instantaneous projectile invulnerability. All right.
Was it through the move and not invincible on startup then?
Yeah. So when you do this on startup, it can be beat out by projectiles. But later on, which is like maybe like 1 or 2 60ths of a second later, it'll become immune to projectiles. See?
Okay.
Also, we didn't talk about, you have to remember, backdashes.
Yeah.
Now, backdashes are...
I don't think we talked about forward dashes either.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later on in a lesson, but we'll cover it a little bit right now. Backdashes are important. They're tools to get away, and they're tools to avoid throws. And you avoid other things by doing it. It's kind of like a compensation. The thing about backdashes now, if you get hit in your backdash, you get hit with a counter hit.
Okay.
And backdashes are airborne. So that means when you get hit,
You'll fall.
It'll be like this. Since they're airborne, you'll get hit looking like this. Counter hit on. See, there's a counter hit. Counter hit. So if someone backdashes when you do this, it'll look just like that. See how you spin it?
Okay.
And you should be able to do that. That's something that you react to. Or you could be, awesome pants. And do stuff like that.
Is it hard to get your supers out?
Is it hard?
Yeah.
No, it's just you have to get used to doing the motion. So if you can do fireball, people get dizzy from that. If you do this is when you can do this move easily. You just instead of doing a one pump, see one pump right there, two pumps.
You kick twice, or you do the rotation twice?
Do the rotation twice. And if you ever have problems doing this move here, the shortcut is you press forward, and then do the fireball. Okay. So you want to do.
Okay.
So you do this move, but instead of just pressing the motion normally, you press forward, then do the motion. So it'll still come out. See, spiral arrow, cannon spike, easy. Okay.
Okay.
You still have. Yes, it still has something that not a lot of people know. It has built-in shortcuts. Now, what I mean by these shortcuts is that you could sometimes press diagonal twice. See, I just pressed forward diagonals,
A bunch of diagonals.
and the move came out, completely negating the down. Didn't even press down, move came out. Another thing this game has is something called release check. So if you hold down a button for too long and release it, the move comes out. And pressing kick, holding down kick,
You just holding down kick?
holding down kick, holding down the button. I'm gonna put the motion in and let go of the button. Personally, I don't like it, but it's in the game because it messes me up.
I was gonna say, does it make it too easy for some people?
No, say like you wanted to do. There's certain moves, like for my character, I would press crouching heavy punch into a move, and the move involves medium punch. The heavy punch version will come out because of release check, and that's on me. But I still would like that option to be turned off. Have the option to do that.
Oh, they don't have an option for it?
Combat does. This game don't. Get used to using this. You don't want to use this. Okay?
Alright. Do people use the... Well, people probably use their combat sticks.
Yeah, people use so many different methods. So next time I come over here, I want to see what you remember. We're going to brush up and then go into the next lesson.
Alright.
I'm going to do that every time. I'm going to brush up on what you should know and then go into the next lesson.
Yeah, I'll see if Brother Red can leave his thing here. You said forward and then the move, right, would do it?
Yeah.
I keep doing that.
Faster.
Okay.
So this game has a lot less execution. Like newer players can focus.
I did it!
It has a lot less execution so that newer players can focus on fundamentals. And fundamentals will always, always, always trump anything else.
Okay.
If you are fundamentally better, but somebody can execute better, since you have better fundamentals, you will win. That's
And
just
that's
how
just
it is.
knowing where everything hits and
Mm-hmm.
V triggers.
See, since your fundamentals are so much better, you'll have an easier time keeping them out. You'll have an easier time making sure that you hit them at maximum range. You'll have an easier time anti-airing them. You'll have an easier time knowing when to grab, knowing what they want to grab. You'll know all this stuff because you're fundamentally better than them.
Okay, that's the back one. Alright, well let's see if Brother Red will stop by so Jay can get his training in. If Jay ever gets back!
You say it won't be back for a while.
Man, my signal just disappeared on my phone.
So for a very first lesson, that's a lot to take in, isn't it?
It's a lot to go over, or try to review too.